Hi everyone, my name's Nicole and welcome back to A Thistle and Thread. I am so excited for today's video because it is end of the year whip parade season, baby, and this is one of my favorite videos to film, but also one of my absolute favorite videos to watch from everybody else. I love to see like all the fun projects everyone's getting their hands on, and then I love adding things to my wish list and my to be stitched list, and I just love it. Now, I know these videos tend to usually attract some more people because everyone's like looking for that inspiration and to see what everyone's working on. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Nicole. I am a 28-year-old registered dietitian, and I live in like a small little lakeside town in the Adirondack Mountains of upstate New York. I live in a big house with my family and my husband and our pets and all of the things, and it's incredible. I love my simple little lakeside life here, and I post, I feel like primarily cross-stitch content, but I also do a lot of fiber arts goodies because that's like another passion of mine. So expect lots of like fiber arts videos, and I do lots of like crafty vlogs, and I don't know, I do some travel vlogs, like when I go to Disney, I film like Disney vlogs, and like whatever like little weekend trips I make, and I bring you along with me. And of course there's always like little crafty goodness sprinkled into those things because, you know, this is such like an integral part of my life is crafting and like working with my hands. So it's something I do every single day. It is my form of therapy. It's the only time of day when my brain is absolutely, completely quiet. And that is one of the reasons why I love these hobbies so much. And it feels like, it doesn't even feel right to call it a hobby because it's so much more than that to me. So all of these goodies I'm going to share with you just have so much like love and time and memories poured into them. And that's one of the reasons why they're so special. So let's get into it because I have a lot of WIPs that I want to share with you today. I have about 18, and I do plan on, what's the word? I plan on destashing some of these because I have a few WIPs that definitely aren't like very much my taste anymore. I'm not like super called to stitch on them. So I'll share those when we get up to those, but I'm going to start out with the kind of genre of stitching that takes up about a third of my WIPs, and that is Halloween and spooky stitching. If you're new to my channel, then you probably don't know this, but in like the fall season of last year, I ran a couple month-long like stitch-alongs, and it went in correlation with my trip to Salem that I take yearly with my family, and I called it the season of the Witch SAL. Each week, along with the stitch along, I did little crafty coven live streams where once a week I would sit down with everyone and I would share what I'm working on. I'd do a little stitching, I'd show some haul and some goodies that I picked up, and it was just like a really fun way for us to all gather together and, you know, work on some fun things and just like talk in real time about the things that we love. So I definitely want to start that again for like next spooky season. Maybe I'll sprinkle in a couple more little SALs along the way as I like gain inspiration, but the crafty coven was seriously like amazing. So I'm definitely going to be bringing that back as like the head stitch witch of the crafty coven. I have to bring it back. So let's get into the spooky stitching because I have quite a few things. So as I'm like reaching over, I'm going to start out with, I think this is one of my oldest WIPs. I've only been cross stitching for about like a little bit over a year now. Like I'm still very new to this, but when I love something, I just dive like head first. I become fully committed, and I don't know, I get very hyper fixated on it. So let's get into the first project. I think this is actually the oldest WIP that I have currently going on. This was one of the first projects that I like kitted up with like linen and fancy floss that like I got from 123 Stitch. And I remember seeing this on, I think it was Megan from the Seattle Stitcher. It was on her videos, and she was stitching this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is my sign. I need this. And this is the Silhowitches Quaker by Teresa Kogut. This is pure perfection, in my opinion. I got everything called for, so I'm stitching this on the called for linen, which I'm forgetting what it is right now, but I know it's 40 count, which as like my first full-on linen project, I didn't know what 40 count meant. And I wish I chose a count that was lower, so like a 36 or a 32, but you know what? We live and we learn. But I just love this. I love how it's very monochromatic with like the pops of this green color. I think this green color is like guacamole or avocado or something by Weeks. And it is just so fun. I love this. So I'll show you my progress on it. I think I'm like almost done with a full page of the Quaker. So this fabric isn't this like bright orangish, neonish orange in person. It's more muted. It's more pumpkin-y neon, more so than like this yellowish neon. But I love this. Again, this is 40 count. So this is the only reason why I'm not stitching on this as much and why I don't have more progress done. Because I was new to 40 count, I was making a lot of mistakes. So things are like slightly misplaced, slightly off in this, and it requires me to use my brain a little bit more to like place things so it looks like even and symmetrical. Like I know I have a mess up in this wreath somewhere, so that made me like have to place the pumpkin a little different and the vampire a little different. So there's just like slight little oopsies in this, I guess. And I don't know, when I sit down to stitch, I don't like to think. I just like to do. I don't want to like use my brain any more than I have to, because this is like my relaxing, peaceful craft at the end of the day. So that's really why I haven't gotten so much work done on this. I think the newest progress I have is on like these Quakers. I think that's the newest thing, but I haven't stitched on this in months. Probably since before October was the last time I got my hands on this. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And you'll see a lot of my needle minders attached to some of my projects. And all my needle minders are from, oh, now I'm blanking. All of them are from Mad for Minders on Etsy. She makes the best, highest quality, strongest needle minders that I have ever owned. And I will forever purchase from her. And she has so many cute ones. They're so affordable. I think like they range anywhere between $5 and less. Maybe some of them are like $7 or $8, but they are incredible. And this one just says Spooky Season Specialist. So cute. So that is my Silhowitches Quaker. I would love to have more work done on this. I don't think this is going to be a 2026 finish. I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll like get super inspired to work on it, but I would like to at least get another page done in the project. I think it has 4 pages, so since I'm almost done with page 1, if I got page 2 done, that would be like an incredible goal, but we'll see. I have like a lot of other things that I definitely want to finish before this one, but it's so cute. I will definitely be keeping this on my wall all year. I don't care if it's spooky season. Like that is, it's like primitive, and I don't know. I feel like when you look at it from afar, you're like, oh, that is like something primitive and cute. But then when you look close, then you see the spooky, witchy elements, which I love. So that's Silhowitches Quaker. So next I'll move into, I think this is my second oldest WIP, but one of my absolute favorites. And I was gifted this pattern set last Christmas, so Christmas of 2024. And this is Halloween Rules by Lizzie Kate. And I'm absolutely obsessed with this pattern. I saw my friend Maggie from Homemade on the Ridge. Go check her out. She's the Martha Stewart of Flosstube. She's incredible. She has so many incredible finishes and just like, ugh, I love everything about her. She showed her finish that she did of her Halloween rules, and she did like a very cool banner finish. And when I saw her do that, I was like, if Maggie's doing it, I need to do it. So I've talked to her about her like a ton on my channel before. Like every time I bring up this pattern, I have to shout out Maggie because she's incredible. But I am stitching this just exactly how it is shown in the model. And when you purchase these patterns, it comes in like a little sniplet booklet, and it has 2 of the patterns in each little book. So I have all of the little books that it would take to do the whole pattern, and the border is free on Lizzie Kate's website. So I am doing, again, everything called for. So this is all the called for floss. I believe this is just like a raw linen. I forget like the exact called for. It says a 32 count chestnut, but I think online it has a different called for, but it's very similar to this. It's like very much just like a raw, it's a stiffer linen, but a very neutral 32 count, which I love. It's not hard to stitch on, and it looks beautiful with it, but it does have quite a few, I always get this wrong, and people shout me out in my comments for getting it wrong, but is it a slug or a slub? Like those like bunches in the linen that are like really thick. I can never remember what it's called. I like to call them little slugs because it's just cuter. But that's the only thing. That's very common with linen, but this linen I notice has like a lot of them. So since I was like a newer stitcher stitching on this, I wasn't really sure how to navigate them. Now I know how, and it's not hard at all. But this is kind of what I've got working with. So I'm just still working on that free border. So I have Halloween stitched up, and I'm working on the tombstones with the moon, and I'm going to work my way down. Again, this was another one that I made quite a few mistakes on, and I'd have to like rip it out and then restitch it. So again, that's why there's not like a ton of progress on it. But this is something that I feel like once I have this top border done, this is going to go by so fast because it's mostly words and then just smaller little motifs. So I really just got to get my butt in gear with this and get stitching on it, because I would love to have this finished for next year. I mean, I don't know how realistic that is, but man, do I love it. And Lizzie Kate has like a bunch of those different like seasonal rules patterns that are similar setup to this. And I know a lot of other designers have them as well. So if you like the vibe and the style of this, but you want to do a different season, go ahead and just like search up the season and then the word rules, and you'll find tons of different options. But I love this one. I can't wait to have it done. And of course I have to have a little hitchhiking ghost needle minder from Mad for Minders. I'm a huge Disney person. If you can't tell by the lounge flies behind me, I got married in Disney. Me and my family go to Disney at least like once to twice a year. So I have a lot of Disney things like incorporated into my stitching as well. But yeah, that's my Halloween rules by Lizzie Kate. That one is so much fun. I highly recommend, if you're like even thinking about getting it, go ahead and get it, because it is just a blast, and the floss colors are just so fun. So next I'm going to show you a newer WIP, and I don't think I've ever showed this on any of my floss tubes. I may have showed it in my live streams, but this one's so fun. This is from Nikyscreations. This is Halloween Hen. And if you're new to my channel and you don't know, I am very much a girl who loves the whimsy. I love ducks, geese, chickens, animals in clothes. Like, I have so many people that they just like tag me in all these patterns with these cutesy little animals in clothes, and it literally brings so much joy to my heart. I'm like, oh, I feel so seen. But this is like totally a Nicole pattern right here. This is Halloween Hen, and I just think this is the cutest, most adorable little small to ever exist. I love the style of designs from Nikyscreations. She has a lot of like Amishy looking things and farm girl kind of stuff, like very country. So I love the vibe. I love the finishing. I love the plaid. But I believe this fabric is her own fabric. Yeah, it's a Vichy linen, 28 count Vichy linen by Nikyscreations. And I got this to specifically stitch it for, it was the second month of my Season of the Witch SAL. It was Adopt a Familiar themed stitch along, and it was like stitch on something that you would want to be as your like witchy little familiar. So I chose this one to be my little familiar. Of course, Head Stitch Witch needs cutie little hens that follow her around. So love that. And I got a little bit of progress on this. I will put it on a board because this fabric's kind of see-through. I did use a 28 count. This is a 28 count artichoke linen. It's very much like Ada consistency. I guess because the weave is so big. It's just like a stiffer linen, but very, very easy to see because, you know, the weave and the gauge is just like so large. But that's my cutie little first hen. Let's see which one I was doing. I was doing the center one, so I did a center start. So it has this little kitty cat on its back. And, you know, a little bit of progress, but, you know, it's getting there. And on camera, you can't, the differentiation between like this floss color and this fabric, you don't see it that well, but in person you can tell that there's a difference. But I just did a little bit on this. This was like in the same month that I really started knitting, I think. So then like knitting took more precedence over cross stitch, so I didn't get that much progress done. But progress is progress. I'm sure this is going to be a 2026 finish. And maybe at the end of this video, I'll just like do a rapid like show of like, this I think will be a finish, this think will be a finish. Because I'm a person that doesn't like to do like set plans, I guess, because everything changes. I very much stitch what I am just called to stitch. I don't like to put pressure on myself. I don't like to count how many stitches I've done because that just makes my brain like think I did too much and I'm gonna hurt myself, like get tendonitis. So, you know, I'm just a very go with the flow stitcher. I wish I was more statistical like other people are so I could share more data and info for you guys, but I just go where the wind blows me when it comes to this. And because I don't like to think about it. I just like to do, like I said. Next Halloween WIP I have, it was one of my favorites, and this is Witchy Washy by Raise the Roof. This is a fairly older pattern. This was released in 2004. I saw this in like a shepherd's bush walkthrough video, and it was one of the models stitched on their wall, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this. And I think my mom surprised me with this for my birthday this year. Yeah, this past birthday, I believe she gifted this to me. And I'm doing this, I believe everything called for. Again, I didn't like take notes for this. Yeah, this is a 32 count flax Belfast linen, which is the called for. So let me show you what I worked on. And like I just said, I didn't take notes. If my fabric doesn't have the sticker on it, there's a chance I don't know what it is, but I typically usually get the called for. So this is my progress that I have so far on this. And unfortunately, it looks like a good amount. This was like 2 or 3 days of stitching, but it has to come out. I think. I have to see. I did something here wrong. Something with the tree, and it just isn't lining up. This might be something I can like play around with and just wing it, but I don't know. I might just spend the time frogging it and then starting over at least. I don't even remember the specific point, but I love it. This was so fast to stitch. I think I was watching this or stitching this while I was watching like Love Island or something. I was like very into one of the shows I was watching and I wasn't paying attention. And now I have a big mess that I need to fix. But this one is so much fun. I've had a couple people message me that they've either stitched this or they had this as decor in their house when they were a child. And this is just something that I want on my, as a part of my decor. And I know Raise the Roof has other themes of this. I believe they have like a beachy one. They have a Santa Claus one for Christmas. So there's lots of fun little clothesline ones. But I am just like obsessed with that dress. Like this whole outfit. I would love to have it. I just think it's so much fun. And this one does come with, well, you have to purchase the button pack from Just Another Button Company. I can't remember if I purchased this button pack yet because I think it was sold out, but it's something that you can like easily find, I believe. So I will still need to get that in order for this to be like fully finished after I'm done stitching it. But this is something I definitely want to put time into, and I want to fix the mistakes. I have gotten better with not like obsessing too much of like frogging out what's wrong. But I do like it to be more effortless. And if I'm going to have to like overanalyze and really think about placement of things because I've made mistakes, I'd rather just spend the time picking it out and doing it again. But we'll see. A lot of my like small projects I've made mistakes on recently, I just go with it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's what makes it homemade, baby. It's totally unique. So I have 2 more projects to show. These are like for Halloween. These are a little bit larger. So this one is, I love this. This is Seedy Pumpkin Cottage by Praiseworthy Stitches. I love this like series from Praiseworthy Stitches. They have so many like Halloween cottages and just buildings and just adorable Halloween scenes. I want every single one. I know you can find a few of them technically for free in like Just Cross Stitch magazine, like older editions. I guess it's not for free, but it's in the magazine. But I love this. I think this is my favorite one. This is Seedy Pumpkin Cottage. I stitched this as part of my like Crafty Coven stitch along, which the theme was Halloween Hollow, where we were like stitching on places that we would like to live as a little witch. And this I deemed as like the hub of the Crafty Coven where we would all meet. So that is Praiseworthy Stitches, Seedy Pumpkin Cottage. I love this. I love it. Now, you're not going to think I loved it because I don't have that much progress on it. I literally did a little pumpkin, just the outline. That's it. And I don't remember why. I think this is when I was going through, I started this when I was having a lot of stomach issues. And I realized that my stomach issues were actually from gallstones. And now I have to get my gallbladder out. But in that time, I really wasn't crafting that much because I just had a lot going on. So I literally only have a little tiny little pumpkin outline. And you'll see that the background and my called for fabric, they look very similar, but the called for, which I don't know off the top of my head because this is just like the front page, the called for is more of like a silvery kind of a linen, and I wanted something a little bit more purple toned, Halloween-esque, and this called for was like pretty hard to find. I couldn't find it anywhere online, so I went with a hand-dyed fabric. This is from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. I think this is her Sleepy Hollow colorway. I'll link her down below. She may still have some of this in stock. I don't know if this is like a colorway that she has in her rotation, but I love her fabrics. They're so beautifully modeled. But that's like just my progress, my tiny little itty bitty progress that I have on this. I definitely plan to be stitching on this more in the new year. Next, I have an absolute classic that I feel like every little Flosstube stitcher gets sucked into doing at least one of these projects in their life. And this is a Hawk Run Hollow piece. And this is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Let me take this out of the plastic. So this is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. These like Hawk Run Hollow pieces from Carriage House Samplings, I believe. Yes. They're just so stunning, and when you see them stitched up, they just put you in a trance, and you're like, I need all the materials now. I need to stitch on this, even though this is probably going to be like a decade-long WIP. But I love this. This is absolutely stunning. I need this eventually in my house. And like I said, I really like witchy things. My family really loves witchy things too. And I was thinking that I'm going to actually change the hair color of one of these witches to more of like an orangish red hair. Because my grandmother who passed, she loved witches too. She loved going to Salem with us, and she just loved all things witches. So how fun would it be to have me and her just, you know, making our cutie little potion together. So yeah, that's my plan to eventually do. But you know, that'll probably take me 6 years to get to that center block. Because I'm doing this with all the called for. I'm doing this with the DMC called for though, because there was no way I was paying the prices for the silk pack, especially since the model was stitched in DMC. I was like, it's gonna look good. So I just have a little bit of the first block done. Again, I'm doing this on 40 count, which I kind of wish I went with 36 because I think I would have more done on it. But this is this block, so it says we do lie beneath the grass. So it's the little haunted house like skeleton scene. So I just have a little bit of like the dirt, the mound, and then I'm working my way in the haunted house. So this is actually my only needle minder I might have that isn't Mad for Minders. I forget what this one is, like Flamingo Toes or something. I think I got it from either Fat Quarter Shop or 123 Stitch. Yeah, I'm doing this all called for, even the called for count. I wish I sized up, like I said, because even though it would make it more of an unusual framing size, I think I would be working on it faster than my snail speed at 40 count. I don't know, 40 count's not my favorite. I don't know why, it's just not. But this is a stunning piece. It's an iconic piece. This is an heirloom piece. And it's funny because sometimes I think about the heirloom pieces because it's like when we look at old artwork and old embroidery pieces from back then and we see more of these specific styles, I kind of think what it's going to be like in 100 years when people look back and see the things we stitched. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, was this girl like in the witch trials of 2025 or something? Like, I think it's going to be funny, like all the miscellaneous things that everyone is stitching on. And then when people look back in 100 years, they're going to be like, wow, these people were really cool. For sure. So yeah, that is my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. A classic piece that a lot of stitchers just get totally mesmerized by, whether it's this one or they have a Christmas one and a fall one and farms. They have so many fun ones that I definitely would love to, like, you know, dabble in. I feel like one Hawk Run Hollow piece is probably enough on the docket right now, but you know, I don't limit myself. If I really become obsessed with something, I'm gonna honor it and treat myself. I think so. That's all of my Halloween pieces. So we made it through about a third of the WIPs. Now I think I'll just get into, I have one Christmas WIP that I have currently going. Where is it? It's right here. So this might be a little crinkly. So I have done actually quite a few little Christmas small finishes for this year. I have been so into the Christmas cheer. I'm a certified elf right now. Like, I usually am not very much into Christmas stitching. It was in the past probably my least favorite thing to stitch on. But for some reason this year, I was just like, let's do it, baby. Bring it all on. So I like did a lot of Christmas little smalls, and this is the one I'm currently working on. Maybe I'll do like a tiny little finish parade. I don't have that much that I've like fully finished or completed this year, but maybe it'll be enough to make like a smaller video. So I'll share that in the future. But this is the one I'm currently working on. This is a Lizzie Kate snippet, and it's called A Good Night, and this is the 2004 Santa snippet. I got this from a thrift store. I have a crafty thrift store near me, and I have so many videos of like vlogs of me going there and sharing my haul, or like just strict hauls or whatever. But I got this year in one of my little excursions I went on. And I love Lizzie Kate. When I saw it, I was like, sign me up. Sign me up. And let's see, where did I just put the actual stitching? It's right here. I think I started this on Christmas Eve because I finished another one of my little smalls then. So I, had to stitch on something Santa. So I just have, like, I'm working my way down his face, and I started to do a little bit of the words. And he's so cute already. He needs little eyeballs. Like, right now he can't see and he's blind, so I should really stitch those. But it's just so fun. The hat trim and the beard actually call for a floss called Whisper. I think it's like a Zier white floss. I don't have that in my stash, so I'm just using like a white DMC. I believe it's just like the Blanc color of white. So yeah, that's all the progress that I have. And since I've been sharing the Christmas projects that I've been working on my stories and in some of my like Flossmas videos, one of my lovely friends, Dr. Stitchy on Instagram, I'll tag her down below. She offered to send me one of her little Santas that she has, and she has some left over of the Whisper floss. So I'm so excited to stitch up another Lizzie Kate little snippet Santa. That's going to be so much fun, and I'm literally so grateful. Thank you for sending me that. I can't wait to get that in the mail and get my little hands on it. And then eventually when that's done, I can pass it on to whoever wants it next. Okay. So that's my only Christmas project I currently have going. I do have a few that are coming in the mail that I definitely want to start that are like Christmassy, wintry, I guess, but I need to stitch on them. And they are like kits, because that's been like my newest craze. Is I like to say I'm a dimensions delusion. Like, all I can think about are dimensions kits. I just scour eBay for all of them, and I've purchased quite a few kits in the last like week or two, so those are coming. I will share them in another video. I'm so excited to like get my hands on them. They're probably coming tomorrow, so that'll be fun. But that's currently my only Christmas WIP. I think now I'm going to transition into my stitch along stitches that I have. I have 3 stitch alongs that I participated in 2025. So let's get into them. These I actually haven't pulled out in a while, so seeing them open is like bringing me a lot of joy. So I have not kept up with them, but I've enjoyed stitching on them. So I will start with my first stitch along that I've ever joined, and this is Fantastical Greenhouse by Tiny Modernist. This one is just so beautiful. Tiny Modernist is one of my absolute favorite designers. I just love the whimsy that she puts into everything, and I was really excited to read about this stitch along and like instantly join it because I just loved the fantastical greenhouse vibes. And she said there were going to be like mushrooms and gnomes and dragons and all of the things. So I think I'm on actually part 3 maybe of this stitch along now. And I forget like how many parts are actually in this, maybe like 5 or 6. But I just love it. I'm doing called for everything with this. I think this is on a 32 count Nessie, but I picture this plus linen. And this is something that the more you stitch, the more it comes alive. Like every little flower and just like little bit of color you add, it just like transforms this piece. And I'm so excited to have this done. This is something I definitely want to work on, and I feel like I'll most likely have this finished for 2026. I feel like I'm saying that about a lot of pieces, but I would like to finish it. I'm almost to that like super fun green dragon. Um, I love it. This is definitely going to be hanging up in my craft room somewhere on the wall, or even in my room, because my husband really does really like this one. This one's really fun. It's going to say find your happy place, and there's fairies on this side that are going to come in, but right now we just have like that cutie little gnome and the unicorn. Isn't it just so pretty? I love it. Tiny Modernist has so many fun whimsy patterns, from like her little terrariums with cutie little things on the inside to just like really fun stitch alongs. She always has like a fun stitch along going. So it's something that I really enjoy about her as a designer. She has like lots of fun like clock series, like cool cuckoo clocks that are stitch alongs that I'm sure one day I'll join one. But that's Fantastical Greenhouse. I mean, look at those colors. Oh, they're so cute. I love the little gnome. I love this. This is definitely, this is why I love WIP parades, because now that I have this out and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I need to get my needles going on this. I need to stitch this so I can get to that dragon. Oh, I love it. 10 out of 10. I love Tiny Modernist. And now my next stitch along that I've joined is from another one of my favorite designers, and that's Sprouting Lupine, and this is her Nature's Journey stitch along. I'll put a picture of it right here. It's a year-long stitch along that she was doing in collaboration with the Just Cross Stitch magazine. So each season she releases a new part. I am still working on spring. But when I saw this stitch along, I was like, that's one of the most beautiful cross stitch pieces I've ever seen. I need to get everything called for. So this is a 32 count. Oh no, this is a 28 count Lugana into the veil. So this is the first Lugana that I've ever stitched on, and I really like it. It's slightly thicker than linen, but it doesn't irritate my like hands or my wrists, because a lot of the time I don't like Aida is that crunchy, that hardness, that stiffness tends to make my wrists and my hands act up a little bit more, but this is like so buttery smooth and delicious, and I love it. And since it's like, you know, winter time now, I'm actually tempted to work down the piece and go into winter and work more with the seasons like that way. But yeah, I haven't put that much time into this. I don't know why. I think this branch is like mostly the reason why I kind of have like a lull on stitching it, because of the branch and the big flower. But like I know I stitched on this like little moth during the, what's it called, like when the Pope conclave, when they elect a new Pope. So I was calling this like my little Pope moth, and I don't know. This was just like a fun piece to work on. I did work on this a bit in the summer. That bird's nest is just so beautiful with the blue robin's eggs. I just love how naturey Sprouting Lupine's projects are, and she does have a touch of like whimsy in her patterns as well. She has a lot of cool like little spooky ones, and I don't know, they're just really fun. Really fun. She's a great designer. I would definitely check this out. She might have honestly all the parts for the stitch along available on her Etsy now, maybe. I don't know. I have to look it up, because I need to download the other magazines to make sure I have the other parts, but maybe I can just purchase it on her website. So that is my part 1 of the Nature's Journey stitch along spring. And that one's just so fun too. That's making me really want to work on it. And now we're going to move on to a Lola Crow stitch along that I joined. And this was the, what was it called? It was the newest bird one. For some reason, I am not remembering. Something birdhouse or something. I don't know, but it was her newest bird stitch along for 2025. I really joined on this like out of pure FOMO factor because I saw everyone else stitching on Lola Crow the year prior. I think it was like the fish tank aquarium one. So when I saw she was going to have a bird one, I was like, oh, I got to join. I got to see what the people love. And I didn't even get past the frame. Like, she gave us 6 weeks to do the frame. I didn't happen. Did not happen for me. So this is all that I have done. It is just the little tippy top of the frame. I believe I'm doing this on, this is another fabric from Hand Dyed by Rolanda, but I'm forgetting the name. I didn't do the called for. I think the called for was like a Bestitched Me fabric, but I wanted to have a fabric in time so I can keep up with the stitch along. But it didn't even matter because I didn't keep up with it. So I just have a little itty bitty part of the frame. I think I might just frog this, which I feel so bad saying, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be like super drawn to stitching on this one. I'm going to be honest, like the theme wasn't even like something I was so totally into. It was more like I wanted that community aspect. I wanted to be in on like the Lola Crow magic that everyone else experiences. And I mean, I've seen tons of people finish this piece already and they're incredible. Like I love to see all the birds, but I think this like frame is just like not inspiring me. Like I would love to stitch on the little birds in it. Maybe I can sprinkle them in as I work it down the frame, but I don't know. This might be one that I frog and, de-stash it. But I love to see everybody else's beautiful finish of it. This one wasn't, I guess, for me. And if I'm not 100% feeling a project, I don't want to like waste my time doing it. And I don't want to say this is a waste of time. It is an absolutely stunning, beautiful piece, but my little heart isn't called to it in this moment, or at least in this year. So yeah, that is going to be probably one that I'm de-stashing, but I'm excited to see the next Lola Crow stitch along, and I do have a couple of other Lola Crow patterns in my stash already kitted up that I want to start in the new year. I'll probably show that in my pattern parade that I'm going to film. But yeah, the green, or what was it? I forget exactly what she called it. It was like a bird house. The bird stitch along wasn't for me. So those are the 3 stitch alongs that I participated in, kind of, in 2025. Definitely the Tiny Modernist one, I got the most work done and spent a lot of hours, just like really diving deep into that world that she created for that piece. But the Sprouting Lupine one's beautiful too. So I'm excited to work on those more, and seeing them in front of me right now, I'm going to whip them out. I'm going to work on them for sure. I'm going to put that like at the top of my WIP pile on my little craft cart upstairs so I don't not work on them anymore. The next section is kind of a little bit more miscellaneous. Like we've got some fancy ladies, we've got some animals, got some animal crackers. So yeah, it's quite a little mix, but that's how it goes sometimes. So I'm gonna pull out the pattern page for this one, and I want to show you like the actual photo of this. So another one of my like pattern hyperfixations of this year was Fancy Ladies, and I just fell in love with all the Mirabilias and the Nora Corbetts and like Bella Filipinas, but I knew I wanted to start small and do one that was very approachable. And with all the research that I did, I heard start with a Nora Corbett, They have a little less color change, and they're just a little bit like technically easier. So I like love, since I live on a lake, I'm very drawn to a lot of like the water fairies and sprites and things that she has, because it'll look really good like in the decor of my house. And I went with Dewdrops as my first one. I love her. She's so pretty. I love the beads that you like intertwine in with the piece. They're like little accessories. So Dewdrops was my first that I started. Now I did purchase a couple other ones that I'm gonna do, but I started with her, and this will be a finish this year. I'm saying that about literally every single piece, but this one will be a finish for sure. So you'll see like this background fabric's pretty plain. It's pretty boring. And it is, what is this? It's on a 32 count golden needle linen. It's just a plain basic linen. It lets her shine, but I wanted something that like feels very like in her element. Because I love when they're on like modeled fabrics, the fancy ladies. So I did this on I think this is a 32 count Velt linen, I believe. It's just like it's a natural linen with a lot of green modeling, and I think it is just so fun for her. So I'm like basically almost done with her dress. It's really just working on her other wing, finishing up her hair and face, doing the leaf, and then her legs with the beading as well. But she is just so much fun to stitch, and this really like made me fall in love with fancy ladies. I love them. I think they're so beautiful. I really love, as far as like floss tubers who do a lot of fancy ladies, the Hugo Stitcher has so many incredible finishes of them. And then also Catherine from Catherine's Stitching Chronicles, she loves stitching fancy ladies, so I gain a lot of my fancy lady inspiration from them. And I'm excited to be a part of the club now of working on my, little fancy lady and my little dewdrop here. And, everyone dreams of having that like beautiful fancy lady wall. Like I did not think I would be like super into like fancy lady stitching. I didn't think it was for me. I thought I would find it kind of boring, but it's actually not boring at all. At least I don't think it is. Like when you do the outline and just the fill in, it just is like a really natural flow way of stitching for me. I don't know. I jive well with it. So I really enjoy stitching on my Nora Corbett, and one day I will accomplish a Mirabilia, but she is just stunning, baby. She's gonna look so good on my wall upstairs. It's gonna look so fantastic. So that's Dewdrops by Nora Corbett, and I didn't realize there's something called like Fancy Lady Friday or something, and like every Friday of like I think it's a certain time of year, Nora Corbett drops, or it might be like her under Mirabilia, I forget, like a couple fancy ladies, like maybe 2 fancy ladies each Friday, or like 1 Friday a month. I don't remember. Someone told it to me. It's either like once a month on a Friday or like every Friday that there's releases. But I need to like stay more up to date with that because I definitely love stitching them. I think I have 3 in my stash, including Dewdrops, like as far as Nora Corbett's go. They're stunning. Next piece that I want to show you is another sprouting lupine pattern. I just love sprouting lupine. And this was, I believe it's called Ducks in a Bow. And there's multiple different like versions of this. Like there's smaller and bigger pieces. And I went with the singular duck option of this piece. And when I saw this on Instagram, another one of my Instagram friends, Steph, she was like, let's stitch this together. And I was like, say less, let's do it. And of course she finished hers and I have not finished mine, but I'm literally so close to being done. Like the duck is done. The flower here is almost done. I just have like one other set of flowers to do. And I'm stitching this on a 28 count Riviera Aqua linen. So I went with like a more colorful background. I thought it would make everything pop really well. And I think the only changes I made, which I don't even know, I think like instead of white, I did like a purple for the bow. I know I made a little bit of color change. It was probably the white to the purple. But it's so cute. I have my little Peter Rabbit puddle duck, like little needle minder. Very fitting. But this'll be an addition on my like chicken, duck, goose wall that I aspire to have one day. Because they're just the cutest little things. And it has a necklace. Look at the little bow. I can't. Anything with a duck or a goose or chicken, I need it. And that's why I'm stitching it. And this will be done. I can't have this just sitting in my WIP stash any longer. Like, it's so close to being done. So that's Ducks in a Bow by Sprouting Lupine. And another cutie animal one, which is another series that I just am absolutely obsessed with, is I love all of the animal crackers from Stacey Nash. And the first one that I wanted to stitch on was Maggie May. This is her cutie little bunny one, and it has a little radish. This is especially popular around Easter time. This usually like sells out typically around Easter, and I see everyone and their mother stitching this. And I specifically chose to stitch this because I'm doing this as like a remembrance kind of a piece for my grandmother, because her dog's name was, well, her dog's still living. Her dog's name is Maggie May. And I started this project on the last day that I was ever in her house. Like, it was the last time I visited her house before we sold it and like gave the keys to the new owner. So I just wanted to like mark that like super significant moment. And what better way to do it than with Maggie May? So she's so cute. I have actually recently worked on her too. I have some of the hanging threads, so you'll have to like not mind those. Let me push them to the side. So she's so cute. I finished her face like maybe last week, and I started filling in her dress. And she does have a mistake in her sweater somewhere, but I'm just winging it. I don't really care. But she's gonna look so cute. I love her, and I think of my grandma when I look at her. And I used this another cute little Peter Rabbit, little hugging bunnies needle minder from Mad for Minders. This I'm doing everything called for. I think even the linen is the called for. Yeah, because I just kitted this up. And I love it. I love it. And it's such like, this is why I love crafting and creating things, because you can really like associate and create memories with these things, like for your loved ones too. So that's cutie little Maggie May. I love the variegated floss. I think this is with Weeks Dye Works. Like, it's just, her fur is so cute, and her little button nose. You just want to like boop her nose so bad. Like, ugh, it's so cute. She's adorable. So that's Maggie May. Am I saying enough about each piece? I'm sorry I don't have like, again, the specifics. Most of everything I do is called for, and if it's not, I'll say it's not. But again, I didn't take notes. I just, wanted to get this out, before the new year starts. So next is a piece that I think I'm gonna frog. And it's so hard for me to say that because I do really like it. This piece is, what is this called? I forget the exact name. I will put the pattern here in the name below. Swamp Magic, I think. And this is from Flossy Fox Shop, or Flossy Fox Co. I think it is so cute. There are just so many color changes in this that it makes me lose my momentum and my steam. So I think I'm going to frog it. This is all the progress that I have on it. I went with just like a plain basic linen. I forget the name of this linen. I stole it from my mom. And it looks so good, especially since we live on the lake. I was like, this would be really fun hanging up. It's just like a really cool lake scene. This definitely typically isn't my vibe because I'm not usually like a bright neon color person. This is very much like a video game kind of aesthetic, like a Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing vibe, like very pixelated, like fun. So I thought I'd step out of my comfort zone and try it out. But I'm just thinking it's not really for me, at least in this moment of my life. And I actually took this fabric from a kitted up project that I think I would enjoy that project more on this fabric. So I might have to frog it. But when I look at it, I'm like, oh, I don't want to, but I don't want to waste the fabric. It's just too cute. We'll see. I'm thinking this is going to be a D-stash because I'm never drawn to stitch on this ever. I think the color change just like totally loses my steam, but he's so cute. Look at the little dragon. The ducks are adorable. This is the hard part. It's like when you put time into something, you don't want to rip it out, but like I don't want to waste the fabric. But it's like also a very large piece, so maybe I can just cut off the top portion and I'll have enough for the sampler I was looking to do on this. We'll see. So that is, I believe, Swamp Magic by Flossy Fox Shop. And I think this is the only other piece that I'm thinking of frogging. The frog count is that bird stitch long from Lola Crow, and then the Flossy Fox Shop one. Swamp Magic. Those are the two that I'm going to be, you know, frogging out, baby. Down to the last 4. Let's start with the one that has the least amount of progress. This is like so pitiful. I shouldn't even call it a WIP, but I know I'm going to be working on it more. And this is from one of my favorite designers, from Janine of the Blue Flower. And this is Happy Camper. Like, I live in the Adirondacks. This is the most Adirondack cross-stitch piece that I own. It's so perfect. I love just like the little animals with the marshmallows and just all of the animals camping. The border looks so much fun. I love this piece so much. I actually like purchased it right after I did my Blue Flower wish list video because I kept thinking about it after I filmed it, and I was like, I'm gonna kit this up. So this is everything called for, I believe. This is a 36 count light mocha Edinburgh linen. And you better prepare yourself for this progress, because this is, you know, crazy. It's literally one line. Literally one line. But I wanted to include it because I am going to be working on this like definitely heavily in 2026. So I wanted it to be in there. And this is actually my wooden needle minder from Mad for Minders. I definitely prefer the acrylic ones over the wooden ones, but you know, the couple wooden ones that I have, I still definitely use. But yeah, that's my progress on that. Very minimal, like literally just the top line, like in the center. So I'm going to be working my way through it, but that's Happy Camper by the Blue Flower. And another fun whimsy, like little dreamy project is Hazel's Blackberry Burrow by Blueberry Ridge Design. Man, do I love Blueberry Ridge, because I love animals in clothes. And let me just demonstrate to you how much I love them. Hold on. So on my desk, my work desk, I have like 1,001 of these needle felted animals in cutie clothes, and they are my prized possessions. These are all from Road Less Traveled Needle Felting, I believe is the shop name. I will link her Facebook down below. I just love to shout her out. But when I say I love animals in clothes, like I'm drawn to every pattern that has an animal in a cutie outfit, it's because this is me, baby. Me personified. I have so many cute, whimsy animals just in little outfits, just scattered all around me. They bring me so much joy. Like, they're just little storybook characters. I love them. And when I can stitch on anything like that, it's a yes from me, baby. So I love Hazel's Blackberry Burrow. Because look at that little mouse. I can't. And she lives in a teapot. Like, it literally, oh, it hurts my heart when I look at it. And this is actually a piece that I have been like working on for the past couple days. Well, it looks a little lopsided right now in my hoop, but I promise it's just, I guess the lighting and how the fabric is pulled. But this is my progress on Hazel's Blackberry Burrow. And so I'm working my way on the teapot and I'm working my way down the stairs. I did start with the tree, but the tree is a little bit difficult to read because it's on like a page break. So I get a little confused. So I'm probably going to have to like fold the insides in and tape it together. And just so it's a little bit easier for me to read. But this one is so much fun. I'm not doing this on the called for linen, but I'm doing it on the alternative that 123 Stitch recommended. I forget the exact name, but it's the alternative they recommend. I think like the original is one more reproduction by Bestitch Me, and I'm using something else, but it looks just as good. It's fantastic, and I am so excited to get to little Hazel. Oh, I just love the colors in her little outfit. Just everything about it. I love, again, this is the epitome of me. Like, little cutesy little storybook animal, and then she lives in a teapot. Like, are you serious? Perfect. Pure perfection. I think this was like a market release this year, I believe, at Nashville. And yeah, that was one of my top patterns that I immediately kitted up and purchased and started when I got it because I was just too excited to contain myself. And we're down to the final two. So I'm going to start with one I'm really excited about. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I am currently in my self-proclaimed dimensions delusion. I just am obsessed with everything dimensions kits. And when I saw this one stitched up, I saw this on Instagram, I think, as a finish. I immediately added it to my cart. They have this available on Amazon, I believe. But this is Cottage Wreath. This is just Cottage core, like coquette perfection. It is so perfect. And with the dimensions kits, and like a lot of cross stitch kits in general, they come with like a rather crunchy Aida. Like, I don't have a hard time softening this Aida, but I would rather just, you know, stitch on a fabric that I'm really going to enjoy, like the texture and the feel of, rather than stitch on something I don't like, because that's going to make me not want to work on it. And I know myself, I don't like Aida that much. I haven't found an Aida that I enjoy. And so I'm stitching this on, what is this? I'm stitching this on a linen, and I'm only stitching it on a linen because since it isn't quite like full coverage, I thought I would still like that more primitive look of linen where it's not like as super even. I don't know. I'm not finding like much of a problem or issue with it right now. But I'm stitching this. It's a 36 count fog Edinburgh linen. This is on just like the dreamiest, like this linen is like so milky and dreamy, and I love it. So this is my progress that I have on it so far. And when I started this, I was just like in a trance with it. Like I couldn't stop. This was like probably 2 nights of stitching for me because I'm still getting the hang of like working with the amount of floss that they give you. Like, let me see, is this it? Yeah, like they just give you your floss on like, this is going to send some people into like a cardiac arrest because I am not the most organized, but they give you the floss on these things and there's just so much management of it. And I just kind of like roll them up on here to try to keep them like the least untangled as possible. But yeah, when there's like so much floss, it's a little bit intimidating, but I'm getting the hang of it. At least I didn't have to sort it because I'm not the person that likes to sort these things out and distinguish the difference between dark blue and dark blue. But yeah, that's my progress on it. So I started here and I'm working my way down. And it's just so much fun. I love this linen. I just think it's so perfect for this project because the actual linen or the Aida that they gave was like more of an eggish kind of a white. And I just like the creaminess of this. And it's going to look so good. Like, I can't wait to fully finish this. This is going to be hanging on my wall. And this is probably something I'm going to get like professionally framed. Because these dimensions kits, like, you might not think you like just like the photo on the cover of it, but when you see these things stitched, it's just like a next level piece. Like, I love following all the like Ukrainian stitchers because like they stitch a lot of kits, and oh my gosh, I like just went on a following binge of all these incredible Ukrainian stitchers, and I'm just so inspired by all the kits that they stitch, and I need every single one. My bank account may say something different, but they're insane. They're so beautiful. Now, we've made it to the end. Claps for you, people, because this, I feel like this is a really long video. But we're going to end it on one of my favorites. This has been my certified comfort stitch of 2025. And this is from one of my absolute favorite designers. I know I have the photo here. Here it is. This is from Cuore, Batticuore, who's an Italian designer. And if you've never seen any of her work, I'm tasking you to go to her Etsy and scroll through every single one of her projects or patterns, and you're going to be hooked. I just love the way she designs. And this is Il mio Rifugio Segreto, and it's like my secret refuge. It's very alpine, mountainy. I have like purchased so many of her patterns. I have so many of her patterns that are this style, like with a specific theme. Like, she has a country kitchen one, she has a craft room one. But this is the one I wanted to start with first. And I'm stitching this on the called for 32 count, like light mocha Belfast linen. And I actually have a stash of this linen because I love her projects so much. And this is typically like the called for. So whenever I want to start a new one, I can. But this is my progress on this so far. We've got some, oh my gosh, I'm such a mess. We've got some like floss hanging down on the bottom. But I am so close to being done with this. I go through periods of like obsessively stitching on this and then putting it down for like a couple weeks. And then obsessively stitching it and then putting it down. But this one is so much fun. Like, that girl is adorable. Her cow, iconic. The cuckoo clock, say less. I was so excited to stitch this like shelf with the little jam jar. I'm working my way through the mountain sign. I love it. And a little side note, because this has a cuckoo clock, this is very alpine themed, I would love to have this done. It probably won't be done by May, but my family's going on a Disney trip in May, and my mom and my husband are kind of scheming together of like splitting the cost of one of those like giant cuckoo clocks that they sell at the Germany pavilion in Epcot. And I would love to have this hanging next to the cuckoo clock in the living room. I just think that would be so cool. I love this one. I can't wait to do more Cuore Batticuore pieces. It has so many little elements that are just so perfect. I love the farm scene. She has a lot of like little farm ones, and like the apple orchard one, just like, oh, it kills me. It's so cute. But this is her mountain alpine secret refuge one. So that's it. Ending it on my comfort stitch. So that's it. That's all of my WIPs that I have going in 2025 now, and what I'm bringing into the new year of 2026. And I'm so excited. I know I'm going to be starting even more things, but I'm hoping to at least finish a handful of these so that I can enjoy them and not have them just living in their little project bags like on my shelf, which is totally fine. But I want to have some more finishes this year, because most of my finishes this year have been small, and I want some bigger ones. So that's a goal of mine, is to finish maybe like 3 of these. We'll see, but I think that is a good goal, because a lot of them are at least 75% done, I would say. And it would definitely be attainable to complete them in the next 12 months. But that is everything that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had fun. Maybe found some new projects and patterns that, you know, you want to add to your wish list, which I love to enable people. I'm a big haul watcher, wish list watcher, and it's another like video that I like to really make, is like pattern inspiration lists and things, so that I can really just like, you know, expose you to more beautiful things. But that is all the beautiful things I've been working on, and there's going to be many more in 2026. Again, I have a lot of kits coming in, so it might be my year of dimension delusions. And my year of like working on a lot of kits, but projects are just so special. And in my first full year of cross stitching, the fact that I have so much amazing progress done on so many incredible pieces is just amazing. And I can't wait to have these pieces finished, and that they can kind of be like cherished through the years and passed down. Because that's another thing I'm super into right now, is heirloom crafting. For another video. This one's already too long. I don't need to like yap about it anymore. But yeah, that's all of the things I've worked on in 2025, all of my current WIPs that I'm looking to complete in sometime in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching and being here with me. And if you're new, welcome. I'm giving you all the little hugs for watching and joining me. Let me know down below maybe what your favorite WIP of 2025 was, like in your own personal collection. I would love to know what other Flosstube WIP parades you've been watching. If you have a favorite that you think I need to check out, put it in the comments below, because again, I love a WIP parade. And yeah, get ready for, I'm posting like all of the major videos to kind of highlight the start of the year. So we're doing a vintage pattern parade in the next couple of weeks, because thrifting and vintage pattern hunting has been another hyperfixation of mine lately. I've accumulated quite the stash. And I also just want to do like a general pattern parade, so you can kind of just see everything I have going on in my stash, and you know, you can like nudge me a little bit to like start some things. And it's just like a nice little baseline for me to see, you know, how my stash evolves and grows through the years, which I'm sure it's going to change a lot. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys had so much fun watching. If you want to see more of my like day-to-day daily life and my daily crafting and more real-time updates, make sure to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at thistleandthread, with 2 Ds at the end of thread. I'm constantly on there. Posting on my stories has been like one of my favorite things and favorite parts of each day. It's like doing little check-ins with everyone, and you know, like talking back and forth like through stories. It's so fun. So that's it for me today. This is, I think, probably going to be my last video of 2025, which is like crazy. But yeah, I hope you all have just the best new year, and that you spend some quality time with your loved ones and your family and your friends. And I'll see you in 2026. There's a lot to come. I have a lot of exciting things planned. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.